Shadowhawk's dog?
Really good.
His name is Sully. For
Sully.
Sullivan.
Oh, he's a cutie.
So how did you get rooked in, Dan, to watching dog?
We used to do it. The kids used to do it, and it was kind of actually an option for getting a dog. Is the dog comes and he pays you.
Yeah, there you go.
The dog pays you.
So everybody wins because these are just friends' dogs. Kids from school that they're the kids' friends. Dogs, and they want just someone to watch a dog who, you're disappearing, buddy. So. You're not. You come on out. So, see, I just stopped petting him. He comes back out. He kind of. If you start at his head, then he'll just kind of move his whole body across. So he eventually gets to the end.
Yeah.
Did you hear what he just said? He went, "Don't, don't stop me now."
I love the sort of natural smile that they have.
Yeah.
It looks like he's happy, and I think he is happy, but he just looks like
he's happy. He's like, but right there's the spot. Don't stop.
He's like, yeah, that's it. All right.
Yeah, for a couple hours, I'm good.
I'm assuming he's some kind of yellow lab mix, right?
I think they call him a white golden.
White golden. Okay.
Yeah, golden retriever, but kind of the white, like a whitish kind of version.
Yeah, that's how my Daisy.
They're not as yellow. They're more white.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I think we had another one we watched. It was the temperament on all these. I've seen 3 of these dogs now. The temperament on all of them are really, really sweet.
Why did you kill your dog?
She has taken a nap. But yeah, she's like almost white, and then she's got like little like honey colored highlights on.
Oh yeah. With the lighting, I can see she's not pure white, is she?
No,
she's got
she's
that
not
honey
pure
color.
white. She's got really,
yeah.
But yeah, it's Sully looks
like
what up, G? Yo.
He's kind of yellow like her too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. We're actually trying to be hip.
Well.
Yeah.
Or are you just stealing Dan's look?
I honestly, right now, my hair is just so long.
Oh yeah.
I needed something to keep it out of my eyes.
Well, mine's so wide. I just need.
I wear it like this too. I got my all caps. But this, we're like, all of a sudden see like you're an older guy, pushing 60, and now I'm 25.
That's
you
going to see some vanilla ice.
Well, if John Dillard's not going to be here for his own birthday, we're just going to have on Mr. Dan Law.
There you go.
Well, he's not going to. And it's his birthday. He's going to go out and do fun stuff. Not that we're not fun, but just.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I actually contacted him a couple of days ago and said, "You going to come on for your birthday? Are you available?" And he's like, "No, I'm going to be out with the kids and stuff." And he said he's out in California, and it's California, you got places to go, people to see, things to do. He says he's got a park not too far from him. That's really fun. That the kids are like,
what part of California? It's a big state.
Yeah.
Where is he? It's a big state.
SoCal somewhere. I'm trying to remember exactly where, but it's southern.
Yeah, I probably just ordered a hit on myself and didn't know it. Jonas joining us from Sweden. It's good to see you,
Yeah,
Caleb.
Jonas.
It's good to see you. We're live and
Yeah,
international with Mr. Dan Lawless and his red cap. Did you really talk about cord draft with Andy and Dennis and wear chainmail, or was that just a psyop? You did. Where'd you get the chainmail?
It's an app you put on. It's just
Oh, was it? Okay.
Okay.
I didn't know. I was like, man, I've seen him on here with Viking horns, before. Okay.
There we go.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, look at there. That's
Yeah.
the real deal.
I can't believe
Well,
I bought this. All right, I'm putting it on.
With Lieutenant Worf, on Next Generation, they made his chainmail on his chest out of aluminum cap tops, or pull tabs,
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Now he can
Getting it
that's
on
cool.
is pretty. Is okay. Taking
Katie.
it off is taking it off. Sometimes takes some hair off.
Oh
Yeah, I was gonna say those little rings will grab your hair, pull it right out.
Yeah.
Won't they?
Yeah, usually I put a shirt or a sheet underneath it a little bit. That's
there you go.
easier.
Hi, Katie.
But I got my crown too.
Dan.
Just to
Dan.
just to
There
make
you
sure
go.
people know I'm completely insane.
Look at that.
Now let's get the Chevrolet out, and all the enemies that we have. We'll just throw them into the next county.
Yeah, I don't think this is too tough a steal though. I don't think it's gonna fight.
Now you got to start asking Rex the hard questions about coconuts.
Exactly. It does have a very much a.
What's
It's
the
kind of
line
sad.
about long
Our view
shines if
of
we-
our view of medieval armor is Monty Python.
I know it's
Yeah.
like kind of
the
ruined
crazy
that.
part is I
that
actually
history,
used to do handmade chainmail for a while. For 2-3 years, I was making it as a hobby.
Oh, really?
And how do you do that? Do you cast it in a mold, or what do you do?
No, I started off with stainless steel wire, and then I would wind the wire around a coil and spin it with a drill to get to make my own rings.
All right.
Then you cut it down one side with a little die grinder, like a Dremel tool or something. So you got them split. And then once they're split, you can manipulate them and connect them together into all kinds of different shapes and what have you. It was pretty
Very
cool.
cool.
I came up with some really neat designs.
Yeah.
that was painful.
Yeah. Well, you
Probably
said
not good for your glasses either.
too long anyway, Dan. So
They're just reading glasses.
Oh,
Yeah. yeah, once
Yeah, they're all
you
circular.
have glasses, you get some reading glass cheaper.
Yeah, I buy them by the bulk. Really, I'm breaking
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're
buy
not
out the
old,
local
Dan.
Walgreens.
40 years out of high school this year. Yo,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo,
I think
dude,
we graduated in 84, right?
Yeah. Yo,
In a
yo.
Galaxy long.
Yeah.
You and I are the same age, so
I know.
yeah. When,
By the
Dan,
way,
when's your
people are
birthday?
questioning my eligibility on the graybeards, but it is gray. If you see it, it's
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
gray
I
got a
beard.
grew
little bit
mine
in there.
out. It's totally gray. No salt and pepper. It went away real quick.
It's still not in the mustache, but it's the beard. That's
Yeah.
all great.
Yeah.
Dan, did I
So-
tell you that my biological sister contacted me for the very first time last year? I think I did, didn't I?
Yes, I remember that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Because
It's
I
pretty
mentioned
wild.
it's similar to my story too, because my dad was adopted, and then my
Mhm.
sister went to find his family, found out he had 2 half brothers, and that was really interesting. And so
Oh, cool.
Oh yeah. Shadowhawk was adopted too. So it's interesting being adopted because all your life people go, well, did you ever want to find your real parents? And it's like, yeah, I'm living with my real parents. And the ones that are caring
my dad
for
never
me,
never cared to either. He just kind of felt like, well, I think he was
Yeah.
he was just afraid of what he might kind of find or something that he didn't really want to know.
Hey, Trey.
I don't know.
Right. Well, it turns out, from what I
Okay.
understand, my dad was a drug user, at least at the time of my birth, out there in California. So I was in my mother's womb out in California.
Oi,
I've been out to California two times. Once when I was like 3.5 years old and 69, and once in the womb. but I don't quite remember it. I was pretty young back then, as Bugs Bunny says.
You didn't.
Well, my dad, my dad was raised by people who ran moonshine, and
Oh,
so
yeah?
Oh wow.
it was kind
Yeah,
of
we
he
had
was
some
kind of in and out of
moonshiners in my
orphanages
family, too.
orphanages, and he was kind of in and out of orphanages and that sort of thing. But when he found his birth parents, like his they weren't married, but his birth dad, but his dad wasn't alive. His brothers were alive. They had a bar, so he's like, oh, he goes, he couldn't get away from it. Like, it's just
Oh god.
there's always alcohol in the family there. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, Malin's
Yeah.
got kind of a similar story too. I guess his dad, nobody knew about it, but apparently after him and his mom split or whatever, he had a couple of kids. So he's got two half brothers, so that he didn't meet until just a couple of years ago, I guess.
Right.
But he said they get along great. They've gotten
Yeah.
together a few times, had some beers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I met
it's what you put
these
into it,
two brothers were pretty big guys, and I got the Polish side of me. I'm a little Polak kind of guy, but my the little swarthy guys, European guys, no, or Eastern European guys. So
And got the chain mail to prove it.
That's right.
Yeah, I met my the half brother's cousin kind of guy. This guy was huge. He was a contender for the Greco-Roman wrestling team. It's just a mountainous man.
Oh man.
I had a picture of myself and my other brother standing on his side. Looks like he took us in Photoshop and just shrunk us down. Like,
Wow.
I'm shrieking. Did you see my Inco T-shirt
oh, I like that. What's that from?
from
I love
RT
that
Bear?
old style.
From
RT Bear. Okay. Yeah, now I
but
recognize it. Okay.
I bought two of these. They're and they ain't cheap. They're about $40. I think with shipping they were like $40 a piece. But
Wow.
he changed the design on me. He gave him glasses and a mustache. See, Art
right.
didn't design this. He had some lady design this, and I love the character. But when I got him, he's got glasses and a mustache now. It looks totally different. So I feel like I kind of got cheated. I was like, where'd
Well,
they
maybe
go?
you can ink it in there or something.
Yeah, maybe I
Ink out the
can. Yeah, I
mustache.
could just like.
He is an
Hey,
inky
that's
guy.
a good
so
idea. I just
I
permanently.
don't know if it's a good idea though. Might wash out.
Well, maybe.
But if you could do a
it's
permanent
kind of a
ink of some
decal
kind.
type, these are the
Right,
kind I think that, although they're probably, I don't know if they're heat transfer. It feels like it's heat transfer. It's not like, you wouldn't feel it on the surface if it was. And yes, I'm touching myself, folks.
You're rubbing on yourself, bro.
I'm, anyway, once you start, you just can't hardly stop. It's like Lay's potato chips. You can't. You can't
Oh
have
god,
but just
only
one.
14 minutes in and already we've gone so long.
I know, yeah.
It's off the
and,
rails.
That's
Off the
yeah.
rails.
Hey, Mike.
Hey Mike.
Oh, me. Where is everybody today? We should have like tons of people in here. I don't know. It's Thursday. Maybe they saw John Dillard in the title and ran like hell. I don't know.
Hey guys,
Oh,
get
what's-
out there.
But
What's
yeah,
the title?
happy birthday to John Dillard today. You're aware of John Dillard, aren't you, Dan?
Oh yeah,
he-
I know
he's-
about these poor guys stuck in the middle of a gang war.
A
I
yellow
know.
flash.
I
Yeah, he's
know.
working on like the last page or next to the last page.
Yeah.
He's probably on the last page now if he's not finished. He just finished
Yeah.
or close to finishing that project for Yellow Flash.
Yeah.
Yep.
I hope he gets a good percentage. The guy's probably got a
Yeah.
big enough YouTube presence. He's gonna make out pretty good, I think, on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Dude,
think
Yellow
he
Flash
should do
he's
just
another
fine.
one. Oof, that's something else. But
I don't know why the Yellow Flash would pick a fight with Ethan. That was just stupid, though. If
I
you
don't
think
know
about it,
why
if they weren't
Anybody
fighting right
picks a
now.
fight with Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, just think of if they weren't fighting right now, how much Ethan could push that book, and how that thing, it could do another
Oh, yeah.
500,000 with Yellow Flash.
I mean, I know
and that
Yellow
working
Flash has got a
concert.
big
Yeah.
He's got a big audience himself.
He's got a
but,
big
yeah,
enough channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Ethan is the
Yeah.
place to be if you want to sell comics online. I mean,
Yeah.
He's got the audience.
It's hard to say.
That's for sure.
It's hard to say what's going to happen. It's because
I mean, I hope he does well
we're looking
just
at,
for Dillard's sake.
looking at Shadiversity did about 600,000. Same with gosh, I'm forgetting his name. Razor Fist. He did about 600.
Right.
He took his down a little early, I think. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I bet it'll be up in those.
I think some of these projects do come down a little bit early. I think you should give some people. Now, that's not the John Malin method, of course, but I feel like all right, minimum probably threw away $50,000 by not having Godlike go into demand. And I get it. He wants it to be ultra rare, but even if you have a print run of 20,000, that was way below cancellation numbers back in the day, Dan. I still don't.
Wait, he didn't go into demand?
No, he never goes into demand with one of his. It's like 60 days. He's done. You missed it if you didn't get it.
Well, 60 days. It's not just the 30 days. It's 60 days. Okay.
No, yeah.
And he did.
And
I
get it when you get a big project. I mean, I didn't know that Keanu Reeves, was it Keanu Reeves? The
Berserker or something.
Berserker, 30 days, and that was it, and still made what, $3 million or something like that. Before,
really, $3 million?
Yeah, it was over $3 million, and that was up for only 30 days. But now he did the trailer. It's kind of like Sylvester Stallone. With R.T. Bear's project,
Untouchables.
If he had done just a short trailer, 30-second trailer saying, hey, buy this book. Hey, yo, Adrian, buy this book, the Expendables. It would have done so much more bank, Tokame in the house, hello. Held to the room, chat, and panel, he says. Dillard's not looking for $1 million. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think Dillard would take it, though. I mean, he's got a certain percentage, if he could do 50,000 on the Yellow Flash, with the percentage he's got, which I think is like 10% of the take. So if you make $1 million, that's pretty good cash in your pocket, he gets
40%.
Is it? Well, it may have been 40% now. Yeah, I mean that's some real bank.
It's 40%. So right. If they were at $1 million, the guy's going to have a $400,000 payday. This is really nice.
Yeah. Well, what have you been working on, yo? We're all going gangster today. You're working on your own project, I know, and secretly. Creeping along.
Yeah, I am working on that. But I'm doing some covers. Did you guys see the Silence Dogood cover? That's
Dudley Do Right.
I think I did see that the other day.
Dudley Do Right.
Now that's a interesting story. I was let me bring it up here and.
You didn't do. I dropped out there for a second. Dan, did you do a cover for Yellow Flash?
Tree Goblin says the post office is the real
no,
winner.
wait, I was getting confused because we were talking about Dillard. But yeah, Dillard's doing the whole book, I think. Plus, he has a cover for it.
Yeah.
Okay, there's the cover.
Silence of the Lambs? No, I meant... Oh, okay.
It's called Ben Franklin is Silence Dogood, Time Travel Agent.
Oh, yeah. This is John's Longbox.
Sean Salter.
Yes.
No, this is Sean Salter.
Oh, that's not John's Longbox? Okay. I'm sorry.
His handle is Salty on Twitter and stuff like that.
Oh, Salty. That's
Salty.
right.
So,
yeah. He was on with Dave, the BTM reviews the other day. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not. Yeah.
So he's getting around a little bit. He wrote it's a really interesting story. That's why I got interested in it, because I was online with him. He was telling me about it. So a guy like kind of Steve Jobs type guy, super genius of the future, goes back and not our time, even farther up before in the far future. He goes back and grabs Ben Franklin from the past and brings him in, and he's going to try to sort of milk his brain and stuff. Now Ben Franklin although he's blown away by this technology, he's not buying it. That this utopia is really a good idea. And these two characters here, they come in and try to rescue Ben because he's in some sort of tank, whatever that sustains him, whatever. And so that's mainly the story. So it's and I think Ben Franklin's going to acquire some of this time travel technology and go through adventures and stuff. So it's a young Ben Franklin. So that's why he looks cool,
Well,
but yeah,
you
it's a lot
know,
of fun.
over there on X, on Twitter, I shared this. In fact, I think I could bring it, since I shared it with my good friend Katie, I could probably bring it up. An invention of Ben Franklin's. And I had a new art drop too, done by D that does Tome of Reckoning. There it is. I don't know if you've seen it.
genius.
It's bigger. It's kind
Very
of
nice.
Yeah. That was something he did going up against the armored up version of.
cool. Looks like more like traditional comics, kind of.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah,
want to see that.
he-
I don't want to see the traditional comics go away. I really want to see the kind of stuff I grew up with. John Buscema, Gil
Oh, yeah.
Kane, John Romita.
Mhm.
I really love that style of art, and I feel bad that it's.
I guess you
gone
heard the
away.
bad news. It was inevitable, right? He was 94 years old, but Don Perlin it was in the very first comic book artwork that I'd seen in a traditional size comic. Let's put it that way.
Wait, Don Perlin, what, just passed or something, or? What?
Yeah, Don Perlin passed yesterday.
Okay, yeah.
The
Yeah, he was a
glass
conservative. He was in all our conservative groups.
Yeah.
This is an invention of Ben Franklin, the glass harmonica.
Yeah, I think I've seen this before. It's wild.
Wow, that's crazy.
Different tones off the glass.
You sure it's not Elton John?
I don't know.
The bitch is that?
That's definitely not the guy going to be in the new Fantastic Four movie. No.
He looks a little like
Some of
Elton
you
John.
will. Some of you will get it. He had an album called Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Back in the day, yo.
He also had an album called Brown Dirt Cowboys, which
Do I get an art release for my fan art of Devil Flyer Rex? An art release. Yeah. Omar did a piece too. Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Homer. Remember, we just
Should ask
Homer.
that guy if he could play Rocket Man. You know that guy
That-
with the
Rocket
glasses.
Man.
I like
Sorry
Burn Down
about
the
that. Burning down
Crocodile
the house.
Rock or something.
Were
There
you
you
a
go,
Talking
Crocodile
Heads
Rock.
fan back in the day?
Yeah.
Were you?
All that alternative music. This is when I was in art school. I mean, we were artsy fartsy kind of.
You probably were listening to all that stuff. Huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
Omer did this a couple
That's
years ago
cool,
when
too,
the
Omer.
ash can came out,
Mhm.
and dropped it on us the other day. Thank you for that, by the way. That's pretty cool. Laugh out loud. Thanks, Rex. Rex Franklin was a brilliant man. Oh, Ben Franklin. I misread that. They're always telling me I'm old and I was born at the dawn of time, Dan. You know?
Hey.
Wait. Dan, I don't think I've got you written in my calendar. When is your birthday?
Oi,
bro?
oi, Gary.
I know what year, but do you want to give that out?
I don't know.
You don't?
I'll tell you
Okay.
later.
You don't. You don't? Okay.
I mean, people know if they wanted to find out, but I just like.
Okay.
I kind of. It's funny because
We're all
I
old. It's
I'm pretty like shy. When people give me attention, it's actually kind of uncomfortable sometimes. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
when people
You
hit
got
your
to get
birthday,
over that. You're on
happy
the
birthday,
internet
I'm just
now,
like,
baby.
you know, huh?
You got to get over that. You're on the internet now, baby.
I know. Hey, actually, it
Yeah.
was really difficult for me to do this. You know, like a couple years back, I said, no way. I remember talking to my buddy James Mealy. I was like, there's no way I'm getting that. Like, not a chance. And then I did. It was a live stream, and some guys need. David Williams was launching True Justice American Way, and they were doing a campaign. You know, a sort of a marathon. And so I just went in to help. You know, and I'm like, so I was kind of nervous at first, and then. But we went for 5 hours. And like after 5 hours, I was like, whatever, you know. You just get used to it.
Now,
Like
I know you've been
this
doing
is who I
drawing.
am, guys, you know.
I know you've been doing drawing tutorials and things like that over on your channel.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, that's
which
the
are
funny
awesome.
thing is
Thank
like when I do drawings, any kind of teaching, like I've gone into school or something like that, and never nervous then because I'm in my element. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm all business. I'm just like showing because this is what I do. It's only
Right.
when I gotta do something, you know, whatever, make a speech or something. That's when it gets to me. But
Yeah.
Right.
yeah, but if I'm
Have
just talking comics,
you-
you know, it's like
Have you been pulling some all-nighters or a couple dayers?
I'm always
It's
all
gotta
nighters.
be done.
That's my schedule. Is
Yeah.
I go for, you know, I get up like at noon, but I stay up till 4 a.m. naturally, because with what I do, it's advertising, you know, storyboards and things like that. So if I get it, and that's not unusual for me to get an assignment at 5 and have it due the next day. So then I've got all that time. I'm naturally awake. That's just my schedule. And so even if I'm not working on something, I'm up that way because it just, you know, otherwise you burn out so fast if you tried to, you know, push yourself past your, you know, your sleeping hours every time you had a job, you know, like no way. I just end up being on that schedule. So when I retire, I'm going to start seeing mornings again. So I kind of miss them, you know, but that's the business.
Yeah.
It's been a busy week for us. We've had John's long box on that was mentioned earlier. Mike Barron was on Tuesday. Kelsey was supposed to be on with us, but he's rescheduled. He'll be here. He'll be here Tuesday next week to kind of make up. His internet went out for like 3.5 days. Yeah,
right,
his internet went out.
That's the thing about summer stuff is sometimes it's a little dicey. Even for me, if I'm on a live stream and then like a storm comes through, I gotta leave because I want to shut down my computer. I unplug everything from, you know, and keep it away from the outlets because I can't lose my data. You know, it's just too much. Or the computer, you know, it's expensive. So yeah.
This is not Dillard, by the way. This is Dan Lawless. I think we all know
I look
that.
a little like him.
Carrie had a question. Do I get to keep all the fan art? No, all the fan art is not sent to me, and a lot of it's done digitally, you know, but they might send me a file if they, you know, if they want me to use it. Some of it was in my very first art auction, like done by Rob Ewing, which we will launch his book next week on Tuesday. And we'll be going an hour early. That's Kelsey Shannon will be coming on an hour early. Hopefully he can stay with us. That's 2-year anniversary of Shadowhawk being on the show with me, co-hosting. Of course, he was in the show like long before then, months before then, but almost, you know. We had Roland Mann.
I'd have to have a deeper voice for if I'm gonna be Dillard today. I gotta have a deeper voice. I'd be like, "Hello, how's it going? Yeah, there."
Yeah, I can't even do Dillard.
Gonna draw the Shadowhawk today. Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Dillard he's such a manly man.
Now I'm going to be doing a couple broadcasts tomorrow. Rebel Comics is going to come on at 11 a.m. with me again, and Phoenix Press will be on the at 3 o'clock, going an hour early. We'll probably still be going for you, Shadowhawk, when you skirt in here from work.
All right.
You know, always. And
Pale
remember,
Rider and
Tuesday we're going to be
Apex
launching Scrappy and Sauce, Rob Ewing's own comic. and celebrating Shadowhawks, and having on Kelsey Shannon and maybe Mike Barron too. So, and Dan, you're invited as well if you want to come back. Absolutely.
Hey,
There's always something going on around here.
What's the status of Devil Fly right now? Are you're in demand?
I'm in demand over on Fun My Comic. That's where I'm going to stay, is over on Fun My Comic. I don't have it.
How many
pulled up
days you
here.
got? Have you been there now?
About a month in demand. You know, we're working on the last story right now, about 11 pages. I'm kind of laying it out right now, kind of secretly. Here it is, right here. Let me bring it up. Rick tries to do gangster. It makes me feel younger. We're oh gosh, we got another backer. Wow. Okay.
All right.
Well, good call, Dan. We got a new backer.
Okay. All right. Is that 3,285,000?
I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really blew it out of the water
right now, Dan.
Wow. that's the bump, the lawless bump, man.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
We'd still be talking, but Rex would already be on the beach somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, Dan, did you? I mean, did you?
He'd just see his hat hanging in the air, if he'd be gone.
I don't know if you've seen some of these pieces. Dillard did this piece with the armor.
Yeah, that is great.
And that was the character that I gave D to put on his piece. He said, well, what is, and this is going to be the next villain to kind of go up against him. And then we got George Peter Gaddis. This is Midnight, my first Western character that I've ever done. And another piece, sort of Shattered Reality Bystander piece, which he's kind of like my Watcher, cosmic Jim Starlin type character, right? In trench coat and hat there that he did. And then here's another piece by George Peter Gaddis, modern day mummy piece that he did.
That's fantastic.
So he works in a in a very interesting way. He will work with just a blue sort of blue Bic pen. He'll go straight into ink. He'll do that, and he'll do a lot of it in the computer. I've been designing out backgrounds and other stuff like that.
Well, make yourself big so I can see that.
Okay. It needs a little refinement, but
now what
with some
what
of the
those
lines
exactly? What are those exactly?
It's kind of a play on the Kirby dot, on the Kirby energy.
Yeah, sci-fi orbs.
Yeah.
Energy orbs.
Trying and been working on. I need to finish up these. I really do. Everybody gets a free. Dan, I'll make sure you get a free head sketch. I've been working on. Everybody gets a 4x6 head sketch of some character of mine, done by me.
Nice.
So they'll be going out here.
Cool.
Pale Redder, how you doing, sir?
Hey, everybody. It's these head sketches.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm going to do some. Remember, you guys see
here.
Ethan was. I'm sorry. Go ahead. That's pretty darn cool. Ethan said he was offering people to do sketch cards of Cyberfrog stuff. So I sent him my address. I don't know if he's going to send me any to do, but.
Oh, that'd be sweet, man. Yeah, he sells those Cyberfrog sketch cards for a decent amount of money for a sketch card too. So
there we go. Thing in
and
focus.
I hear he pays good. So
My doggy's back.
he
had dinner. He's licking his lips. The wife just gave him his food.
Oh, okay.
Well, you got to treat the dog. Hey, Pale Rider.
He looks like he could be part of the same litter as my dog, man. It's crazy.
Apex Comics in the house. Hey, Apex. You know Apex. That's where we met.
Brett, right?
Dan. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brett.
Mm-hmm. You are correct, dear. That's probably why I'll be getting out here pretty soon, though. Every day. Well, every night anyway.
Oh, very nice. Carrie's becoming a serious collector. She went out and bought some boards and bags this week. Very cool. Get all them CG goodies in them bags and boards, dear.
Yep. Yeah, I recommend, Silver Age. I don't know how they do it over there in England, but yes, after this hop over to the man cave for sure with the good stuff with Mr. G.
Yep. And Justin Belmont and Fantalicious will probably be there.
Hey guys, next on the my drawing table is going to be a pinup of Battlebrick Road. So I'm kind of excited about that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. Did you guys read the first Battlebrick Road?
Yes,
Yeah,
I've got it, and
yeah, I liked it. I thought it was great. And I told Eric, I said this, this story is like it's so much fun. It's eye candy kind of story. I mean, the setting, it's fantastic. It's extraordinary. And I sent him a whole bunch of reference that I collect. I collect reference to do. There's Battlebrick Road. Yeah,
is that the poster that came with it? Shadowhawk?
Yeah, that was the 24 by 36 that you could order.
I'm really surprised you have that up there because he's like, I'm not collecting any more posters because I don't have.
Dude, Battlebrick Road, the first one when it came out was what, like 2018, 2019, something like that. So I had just started my CG collection at that point, and now I'm out of room, and
yeah,
I backed it, so
it
was probably 2020. It was probably 2020. It probably came out later than that. I don't think it's as early as what you think it is.
I thought it was, well, maybe, but
because I wasn't around in 18 or 19. Yeah.
Do you guys remember the colors on that book? Do you guys remember the colors on that book?
Not right offhand.
I could dig it up here, but I suppose. But I just remember. I mean, the art was really nice, but the coloring was really, really, rich and nice. And
I don't know I don't think Eric does his own colors. He's too busy lettering.
Oh, maybe he did. Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think it was somebody else, if I remember.
Oh, but almost forgot to mention to you, Rex. I got my package from Jason in the mail today. Would you like to take a gander?
Sure. Yeah.
You know Jason Bascom, don't you, Dan?
I'm not really sure. No.
No.
What's his book?
Okay. Absolute book 1 and 2. Frog G is coming out soon.
Frog G, one stormy night.
Just came out.
He's got 3 books out actually for field and in print.
He's kind of I call him an ink slinger. He's one of those guys. He's not afraid of laying down the blacks. You know.
He's really legally blind.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Well, I think I know who he is. I know who he is. Yeah, I was on a live stream.
He used to hang out with Dan Fraga, a few years back.
His channel is Unhinged.
Yes,
I don't know if that helps it.
He's big into Sam Keith, the Max type artwork. Oh, look at that!
I was either. That's great. Yeah. Yeah, I was either on a live stream or I was in his chat at one time, and so I know who he is. Yeah.
Jason's he's a sweetheart, man. He's a really good dude.
I've got a Max.
Every time I win something from him in an auction, he sends along 5 or 6
free
things.
Stuff.
Just like, oh, here.
Well, that was one reason why I backed Absolute the way I did, because from the get-go he said he would send out some old drawings. I've got one from 2014 and one from 2015 that he sent me with that order.
Yep. And then I got
he doesn't have wallpaper.
Going on him.
I got all 3 covers.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's Shelby Robertson's cover.
Yeah, Shelby Robertson.
Yeah, Shelby's a badass.
Used to work for Image Comics and Rob Liefeld. And
that one is.
When did you get these in, Shadow?
This was today when I came in the door from work. Yeah.
Oh wow! Look at that one. I didn't even know
that's impressive.
One was out.
Yeah, I just love the black and white and all the ink that gets spilled around.
That particular
Here's my favorite thing of
He
all.
told the
Dan,
whole
when
story visually. There was no dialogue whatsoever in the book.
when I get
right?
art
Oh.
from Jason, like every time, the back of the board's
I
kind
like
of
stories like that
looking,
sometimes. The
looking like this.
silent kind.
There's just ink everywhere.
That's the
on
back
the
of
back.
the book.
Yeah.
that's the back of the artwork.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's the back of the board.
Yeah,
So, like,
well, I mean,
if
he's got a
anybody
very
asks,
dirty.
is that original? I just flip it over and go,
Oh
you
yeah,
tell
he's
me.
got a very dirty workspace. You know, he is an ink slinger for sure. Look at all those dog toys around your feet.
It's Dan's dog babysitting.
Yeah. How much you get paid for that, Dan?
Oh, we don't charge much, you know.
We'll talk off air.
Dan, are you a fan of, like, I know these are reprints, but are you a fan of some of the old EC stuff?
Oh, I love all that stuff. Yeah. Now I don't have much of it because I just don't, I haven't collected it.
Right.
But I have not that issue, but man, there was when that's like those are reprints, right?
These are reprints, yeah.
Yeah, because when they were doing those reprints, that other one you just before last you showed me that I have that's a couple from that series, and I think it was I forget the name of the artist who was on the cover, but it was like Wally Wood or something. It was like, oh, that's so good. So I had to buy it.
One of these days,
I
Dan,
buy
I'm
things for the art. As an artist, I honestly I gravitate. My collecting choices are based on the art.
Yeah.
It's like to keep up in what's going on out there and that sort of thing. The best.
Well,
stuff
I think
there.
with comics, that's what first draws you in, right? Is the artwork.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe the character. I mean, with Don.
Well, once
Perlin,
you read it, then you start to realize oh I want this. So then you get acquainted to certain writers. You say, oh, I like Marv Wolfman or something. I like Walt Simonson, and you start to want to, and it becomes once you become educated, who's a good writer, you want them too, obviously.
Yeah, Jason Bascom. I'm on with Unhinged every Tuesday with him. Been doing that for well over 2 years, where we draw. That's kind of my draw time. Where we sit down and draw for 2-3 hours while we're on the show.
Jason's site is going away. Is that it, or he's kind of that's what he mentioned. I think is like it's not improving as he's going here. Unfortunately, right?
Oh, his eyesight? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Okay, I thought you were talking about his website, but yeah, no. Apparently, eventually, it's a progressive thing that's just
right. That's what he mentioned. Yeah, which is awful.
Let me give you
and that's one of the big reasons. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but I mean, I grab everything I can when he's in auctions from him because who knows how long he'll be able to still work.
I always love this cover. This is going to be the back cover with the Momentum characters to the Jimmy Reyes cover that's going to be dropping on the campaign soon. Jimmy Reyes doing
those
a
are the Marvel
wraparound
characters,
cover.
but those are Marvel characters. But why did I don't recognize that all winners thing? Like what's that all about? All winners.
All winners.
I didn't know it was a
the
book.
Early. You had Captain America, Submariner, and Human Torch, which were the 3 big ones. And Miss America, the Wizard, which was, and then we got Bucky, and we got the sidekick. I can't even remember who the Submariner's sidekick was back there. Oh, that may be Toro. He's just not. Toro was Human Torch's sidekick. He must not be.
Kind of makes you wonder,
up.
like, wouldn't you want to see a book with all losers, like, you got all winners? Like, where's the all losers one? Superheroes that just aren't very good at things, at fighting crime. Yeah, the colors from the old books are just so awesome.
Well, they pop. That's what I'm saying.
I know.
You need to be able to see them from a distance, and often nowadays they don't. They're too darkly colored.
Well, I did that whole tutorial on understanding color in comics. And and a lot of people don't realize, especially young artists, if you add white to a color, you add black to a color, or you add the complementary color, it turns it gray. And that's why in general comics aren't as brilliant anymore, because they're adding these other complicated colors. Used to have a limited color palette, which meant it was bright.
And you
Yeah.
need to know the difference when you send it to the printer, because the printer often when you get it back, it's a couple shades darker than what you were expecting because you didn't take into account the ratio difference from the artwork to the printer.
Yeah, and
Well,
what
it's
you're looking at
also
on screen is it's always the RGB
Yes,
coloring. It always looks more brilliant. But I'm
because of the
because it's
surprised
light.
though
lit.
how many
Yeah.
things that I've had now printed, pinups or covers or whatever, how close they actually are to what I see on my screen. It's really
Mhm.
truly incredible. That
Were you
the
pleased at how
Did
your
you?
piece?
Oh,
Were you
sorry, Rick.
pleased with how your piece? There might be a delay. I'm sorry, brother. Uh,
No,
on the price guide of your death dealer, were
yes,
you?
yes,
Yeah, they
yeah. It looks
probably
pretty
get it
much
right every
exactly.
time, don't they? Do
It
they
looks pretty
send
much.
you and say, "Do you approve this? Does this look okay to you?" Do they send you
No,
something like that, or do they just take it and go with
they
it
just
and
take it
print
and
it?
do whatever they want with it. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but I
yeah.
kind of
After
Yeah.
they pay me, after they pay me,
yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to
Roland.
get
Well, I
paid.
mean, I look at I know what their typeface looks like and all that kind of stuff, so I leave room for that, and
Hmm.
I evaluate. So it's kind of hard to screw up things like that. Although you'd be surprised what some people have done to my artwork.
Oh
Oh,
But it
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
wasn't the price guy. The price guy was great.
Does
But
that
you know,
put
Anyway,
you
what?
off
speaking of
on?
printing, like I did that print for John Malin's Godlike, and
Oh yeah.
man, that I tell you, that was another one. It looks exactly like it does on my screen. That printing, so the printing today is just extraordinary. It's so
Yeah,
accurate.
yeah. That's something that's improved over time for sure. Go
Now,
ahead, Shadowhawk.
Roland had mentioned from Silverline Comics. He was with Malibu back in the day. I'm not sure. I'm sure you know him, Dan. May
Yeah, do
have
you
to.
know him, Dan? Roland, a man from
Roland Man.
The name
Silverline
sounds real
Comics. He
familiar.
was with
Yeah, actually,
Malibu.
I
Yeah,
think
he was a
I
editor at Marvel too for a while.
Yeah,
I think if I'm remembering
he
right, this guy goes
he
back
was
a
more in
ways.
editorial,
Um,
I think.
he's pretty conservative. Is he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say.
because that's why I think I connected with him years ago. I mean, we're talking 2005 or
Okay.
something, 7 or
Anyway,
something.
Hmm.
so we were discussing the whole, digital color thing with him and how sometimes it gets a little muddy and what have you. And he'd
Mm-hmm.
said something I never even thought about or knew. And apparently, you can have your screen calibrated, first of all,
Mm-hmm.
so that like all the colors are as perfect as they can be. And then he said you got
Mm-hmm.
to turn up that contrast because when you're working on your computer, it's lit from behind, so that's what you're used to seeing. But when they print it, there's no light coming through behind it. So that's why a lot
Yeah.
of times things end up looking darker.
Yeah. And certain
Yeah.
colors are near impossible to print, like ultramarine blues. Those really come through the wrong way unless you have. I mean, the printer. You got to work with your printer with that stuff, or a kind of fluorescent pink orange, that sort of thing. That won't
Right.
read right either. So there's a couple of colors that are real pain in the butt. But if you stick with your primary colors of red, blue, and yellow, those are pretty. Those will come out pretty good. It's just
Right.
some of these weird sort of fluorescent colors that you might be tempted to use. So
Mm-hmm.
because I know
And
when
yeah,
You know when
when I'm using Photoshop and I have it in RGB and I convert it to CMYK, the colors that those ultramarine blues turn into just regular blues, and it just kills
yeah,
the design a lot of times. So I
or it
kind of
goes
try to stay
green
away
on
from
you
it. I wish I
instead.
could, because man, they're those the ultramarine blue is a beautiful color.
Oh
It's
yeah,
really
yeah.
nice.
That's
uh,
too bad. Well, eventually the printing will get there, I imagine.
Well, it's good now. You just have
oh,
to work with your printer, and they can't just chuck it out.
Right.
I mean, I think you can print those colors, but you have to be you have to really, they have to really make sure that they're going through the right way, getting the right inks in there for you.
what
Yeah.
was
So
the
it's more
challenge with this
complicated.
piece? Just to do Buck Rogers?
Well, sci-fi, and that was,
Okay,
of course, the
sci-fi.
Graybeards,
Yeah, yeah.
and
And he
yeah, that was a lot of
predates
fun.
Flash Gordon, that's 90 years
Yep.
old this year. So Buck Rogers was like one of the very first, and then in the early 50s, as you know, for EC, Frank Frazetta did a lot of Buck Rogers covers for
Oh
Famous
yeah.
Fonts.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
so that I almost had to do him.
yeah. Yeah,
But
well,
actually,
I'm
so
glad
I
you
didn't.
did.
I kind of
'cause-
forgot about that. I remember the famous funnies covers of Frank Frazetta, but
Mhm.
it wasn't until Aaron LaPresti mentioned to me that, hey, those were actually Buck Rogers covers. Like, oh, I didn't know that. I knew that I was very familiar with those pieces, but I
Yep.
didn't know they were actually Buck Rogers. So
Okay. And they just
Yeah.
used
that was a good call.
reprinted them for okay.
Yeah, someone in the chat suggested that yesterday when I was drawing it, or was it yesterday? Yeah, it was.
Gotcha book.
Yeah, this the
What
70s
were
one
some
was
of the
not.
other characters that they drew that they chose? You chose Buck Rogers. Who did what over there? I missed that one.
David Williams did not Buck Rogers. Who's the guy that kind of Adam Strange? Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Adam Strange.
And
then
Adam
Aaron
Strange
did
with the cap and the cloak. Look at that.
yes.
Swamp Thing. Somebody did.
And
Love
Aaron,
Swamp
I
Thing.
forget which one Aaron did. He kind of did sort of a Buck Rogers type guy too, but I forgot which one it was. But
Aaron
he had a girl
should
with
do
his
one
and
of
a
the-
monster.
Aaron should do one of the DC, I mean, one of the EC type things because he did those old creepy, type things really nice. This was one of the first comic books I ever collected. My first
that's
Amazing
great.
Spider-Man actually was 149 though. This is 158 with Hammerhead and Dr. Octopus. Ross Andrew was drawing.
Who's
it
the
at
artist on
time.
that? Do you know?
Yeah, this is
You know
this is this has got to be Gil Kane, I would think.
Really?
Hey, it looks like
I can look it up. I can look it up. You got me curious now, Dan.
Because it doesn't look like Gil Kane anatomy to me.
Right. Well, the elbows and the knees, I can look it up real quick. 158. Okay. Just give me a second.
I tell you,
kinda
one of
got
my
me curious
favorite
now.
Spider-Man stories, you guys, of all time, is got to be the Juggernaut one where he's going after Madam Web. I thought that was a 2-issue series. That's just that one just blew my mind. It was so powerfully dramatic, and
it came out after like late 1999, and I missed it. So yeah, I gave up.
The whole run with John Romita Jr. drawing Spider-Man was really,
you know
really
what?
good.
You're probably right. It's probably John Romita, cover. Let me.
Oh, yeah, it might be
see if this
JRJ
blows
or
it up.
actually JR Senior.
Gil Kane and John Romita cover. So I was right.
Yeah.
But yeah, looking at the inks, yeah, it's actually, I'm looking at CGC grade Lynn Wein story, Ross Andrew and Mike Esposito art, interior art, and Gil Kane and John Romita cover. You're right. It didn't look completely like
Yeah. Well, I'd have to look at it closer. It probably does, but I'm looking at it not somewhat small here. So even though I'm on my
now, Dan, if you
computer
bought
screen,
the digital tier, you'll be getting 12 pages of additional material and stuff that's in the hardback artist edition. Just to let you know, I don't know what
for what
for Devil Fire.
For Devil Fire, okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I bought a hard copy.
It's going to have additional material in it. May even have more than that. Yeah, I had forgotten that. I think I might even have this issue. I'd forgotten that Don Perlin actually did some work for Charlton. Here's a fighting army he did back in the early 70s. Sort of a
That's great.
Civil War, man out of time from World War II and being fired upon.
Is that the actual issue, Rex, or is that a production piece?
That's actual production piece, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Vandercook Publishing, I guess, or printers rather. Fighting Army, paste up. It would have been like a paper paste up logo on it. You can see where it yellowed because of the rubber cement.
Yeah,
you gotta love that when they do those artist editions. That's all yellow because of the rubber cement.
It's kind of cool looking though. It has such a retro feel when you see it like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And there's something about that old comic book smell, and they've been sort of kind of taken care of, but they haven't been bagged and boarded for 40 years. You just open it up and it's like you get that mold right into your brain. It's
Well, I don't know why you guys are calling it mode, but you could be right. I
because that's
suppose.
what it is, Rex.
Is it? Is it? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
paper slowly breaks down over time. It
Now, I
biologically
love,
degrades.
Dan, when I find out something about collecting that I did not know. This is something that you might not have known. I got this in recently, and one reason I bought it was the price. Well, it had, the glob back here, which Shadowhawk had not even heard of, another
Yeah,
swamp-like
glob
character, the glob. Um,
and
and he
havoc.
was
What is
in.
havoc doing back there?
What's the cover?
Well, he was in one of those great Herb Trimpe stories.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
Whitman variants. I did not know they did Whitman variants on these big treasure editions. Dan, did you?
I don't. No,
No.
I'm not familiar with that.
Do you know what
No, I've
Whitman
It's great though.
never
I
variants?
do
seen
love the
them.
big books. I have the one that the Batman Hulk crossover, the DC Marvel crossover. Oh, I love the one with Jose Luis Garcia Lopez art in it.
Oh
That's
yeah,
one of my
Oh,
favorite oversized
Spider-Man,
pieces.
Superman.
it's right in there. Yeah,
Not the
it's
Spider-Man,
Batman,
Superman. The it's Hulk and
Hulk,
Batman.
and Batman. The one that I usually hold up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that one. I've only got 3 of them. I got the original Star Wars Treasury edition. I've got a Conan the Barbarian. It was like the first time they had shown the blood in actual color, which was crazy. Um, what was and then Superman, Spider-Man. No, I've actually got 4 because I got Superman versus Muhammad Ali as well.
Hey, Brett was asking me if I have any Wally Wood comics, art comics. I don't.
Oh wow.
So, what does that mean? Art comics, like the oversized comics kind of thing?
Maybe, yeah. I'm guessing like artist editions or whatever.
Phil Ryder says, "Avix, don't ask another man about wood."
Happy, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought I'd go get it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so.
Oh,
good.
there it is. Yeah. Damn, that's cool.
You know what I find fascinating too? In the back of that book is got his roughs. You know the
Oh yeah.
the ones that were rejected, and I'm glad they were rejected because they weren't really as good.
Yeah, it's he's got what I'd call the DC house style.
I think he's one of the technically one of the most technical artists I've ever seen. He could draw.
Oh,
Do you remember this
is
Teen
this what
Titans
you're
stuff?
talking about on the inside back cover?
Yeah, it's great. That back page there with the rejected
The
you know,
floor pages.
You kicked me, Shadowhawk.
sketches for the they were
Well,
cover
how did I
rejects.
get you?
You went out for a second, and then you kicked me from large to small. Let's put it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
this is
Blame
cool. What they
Shadowhawk.
would
Hashtag blame Shadow.
easy mark. Hashtag
It's the only
easy
reason
mark.
it keeps me around, Dan. Is
Yeah.
I have somebody to blame his mistakes.
Almost 2 years with this guy. At least
That is a
online.
great cover, but it's interesting because he's got the 3 choices that he offered on the they came up with were rejected, and then you got that last one. Like, oh man, perfect,
Well, that
like it just
that was the
nailed it.
same way. Sometimes, like on the Superman Spider-Man cover, they've got the same layout in the background. In fact, I've got the production piece from Brazil where they would do these huge transparencies that was as big as these treasure editions. Don't ask me why they did it. Oh, here's the back cover. He's still doing artwork for DC on a lot of their production stuff, Dan. I know
He should be doing
with,
stories. He should be doing his crowdfunding, make his own character.
He's been doing that for DC. Look at this. This is small, but he did the artwork for these pens that I bought back in probably 2014.
I feel like that's a waste of his talent. He should be doing.
But if you go back, he's been doing this for
interiors.
DC since the 70s. Even when he was doing comics, he was doing stuff like that for DC.
all their silly merch stuff. It's usually Garcia
Yeah.
Lopez on there.
It is. Yeah, I can identify it, and then it's usually Garcia Lopez stuff. Dan, did you ever? Probably not, but did you ever collect some of these, the Big Little books?
Yeah.
The
I got some, but mostly like with covers, like like that. There's one with all the DC Batman covers.
like a little decent.
Yeah, they're small like
you're
that,
talking.
chunky little books.
Are you talking the little digests like these?
Not well. I got some
No.
of those too, but I'm talking about the other one, that thick chunky book. I got one with all like DC Batman covers on it. It's like throughout the years. Like it's
is
really
like
thick. It's good. It's about an inch
back
and a
in
half
the
thick.
60s they did paperback, but in the early days like this is 1939, they had cardboard covers. Limited coloring, maybe red, black and white, if you even had the red in there. Looking at the Don Perlin stuff, Dan, like he co-created Moon Knight, was one of his characters. He co-created Bloodshot for Valiant Comics.
Really, Don Perlin did Moon Knight, huh? That's cool.
Yeah, he was co-creator.
I wonder, did he
of
get
that
any money
character.
from Moon Knight though? You think he got any money from that creation of that character?
I mean, yeah, when it was in that movie recently, he probably did get a kickback royalty.
But see, that's not always the case. Depend on the deal.
I don't know, because he co-created Moon Knight in issue 32, I think, was the first appearance in Werewolf by Night, which he did a lot of Werewolf by Night. That was the first stuff that I saw of Don's.
That would be a fun one to work on.
Yeah. I mean, for me, Michael Plug did, Neil Adams did Werewolf by Night, but for me, it's got to be Don Perlin, because he's Don did some very cool stuff within Werewolf by Night. I fell in love with the character because I was kind of into the monsters back then anyway, very early on.
Yeah,
that's kind of what got me into comics.
Yeah,
my very first.
Did you buy Creepy, Eerie, and Vampirella?
No, that was what I did buy was in the same format. Those old Curtis magazines was Vampire Tales #5. That was my first anything. It had Gil Kane reprinted right after it came out in Amazing Spider-Man. It reprinted part of Morbius's origin in that issue.
Oh, and
that was my first Marvel character, if you will, that actually and Dick Garagano had a story in there, a vampire story, and Val Merrick. I don't know if you know Val Merrick. He would later do like Living Mummy and a bunch of other stuff.
I don't know him personally, but I know his art.
Yeah. He did the Living Mummy, and I later got one of those when I was young. And I want to sneeze. Excuse me. He's still doing artwork. Val Merrick is. He's still knocking it out of the park, when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the Motor City Comic Con is the one near me. It's happening this weekend. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna try to meet up with Billy Tucci and John Malin because they're going on Saturday. So.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Yeah, if they're that close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
It's a pretty good convention. It's the one I went to. That's actually the one that I got my first comic job at because I went and saw Archie Goodwin was there, and I showed him my samples, and he said just contact me and I might have something for you. And he set me up with Carl Potts then at Marvel there, and away I went. So.
Dan, when you're making homemade wine, you really got to watch it. Check this out.
No i co? Robimy nasz drugi test na żywo. Teraz będziemy mieć kombuczę porzeczkową.
Yes, it's choppy ass theater, but.
Chłodziłam od rana. Ona jest w takiej butelce kapsulowej.
She looks up at the ceiling.
It's like Carrie or something, no?
Yeah, it looks like almost like pomegranate juice. Oh,
Oh my
all
gosh.
over the place.
Why wine though? Why is it pressurized like that? Do they? I don't know much
Who
about
knows
wine,
if
but I
she
thought
shook
you
it up
you make
before you
wine in
shook-
a barrel, don't you? Like, and you have it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you
Well,
seal
like
it in a bottle though.
I don't drink American beer per se. I mean, I just don't. If they don't have Grolsch, I'll get Heineken. Grolsch has been like made in Germany for 400 years. It's the one with the porcelain top, which is now plastic, but it's kind of like that where it has a hat. The good thing is if you like just drink a little bit of it, if most of it's in there, it's not going to lose. If you seal it back up, you can put it back in the fridge and it'll be good the next day.
Okay.
So that's the one reason I do that, and that's kind of what this is. It's got the hinge top, and those things can get pressurized, especially if they're carbonated. This is supposed to be homemade wine, so she's got a mess to clean up after that.
Well, she had the right color shirt at least.
Yeah.
You don't want to. If you're drinking that wine, you don't want a white shirt.
I don't think that was faked either. I think that actually, just to make a video. I think.
Oh, you don't know.
Yeah, well, you don't know. Maybe. There could be some real
shoots up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's shot at. Yeah. I'm
gosh,
surprised
like,
none of it's dripping down from the ceiling. Because
Yeah,
that
was
thing takes off like a rocket.
Forceful.
Oh yeah, it can
blast.
be. Yeah, I bought some like carbonated lemonade out of one like that, and yeah, it can really pop. So that's why
That's more than champagne pops.
Yeah. Champagne's got that carbonation in there, and I think it builds over time, and that's probably what happened. They took because she had a lot of gap there in the neck, air. If you overfill, you probably get something like that, but it looks like she had ample space there. But I don't know what happened. She put a Mentos in it. Yeah, if you put a Mentos in it, Carrie, yeah, it will really. It'll be like one of those.
I never did that. Mentos in Coke. What do you put the Mentos in to make it blow up? Is it Coke?
You can put I did it in Coca-Cola or something, and it's you can clean your car battery terminals with Coca-Cola, as you know.
Yeah, I know.
Pepsi won't work. So if it cleans your batteries, what's it doing to your insides? I'm just saying.
You wonder.
Yeah. I think it was Rex, your live streams that renewed my love of comics. Well, thank you, Carrie. Appreciate that. But Don Perlin's last work was Smokes the Fox variant cover. No, it was not. We had, I think Don Perlin did one more cover. I think Justin was on here and he said, I think Don did one cover. I think it was next to the last, but it was cool that he got into the crowdfunding scene and did Smokes the Fox, written by Mike Barron. She might have shook it beforehand. Yeah. Any carbonated drink.
Good.
Yeah. Just.
I feel like it was a setup.
Yeah, it might have been. Yeah. But
if it wasn't a setup, then she probably wouldn't have had a red shirt on because she didn't want to ruin her dress.
Yeah, probably so.
Hey, did you see me repaint the? Did you see me do that repaint of the Frazetta Sea Monster? That was the latest video I did.
I did, yeah. Now the tutorial, no, but when you listed it on X, I did see that you did post it. I think, didn't you?
Yeah.
You put them side by side as a comparison. Yeah. There was some differences,
I painted them side by side. I did it on purpose. I wanted to. It was a bit of an experiment, and sometimes I like to do this stuff just for my own amusement. And I thought, well, why don't I just show people what I'm doing? As long as it's interesting, So I changed the monster a little bit. Actually, do you want to bring it up? I'll share it with you. Hang on.
Sure, if you got it. Happy heavenly birthday to Yvonne Craig. today. Played Batgirl in the third
Yep.
season. Played
And
the
yeah,
Green
and was
Slave
she
Girl.
okay? Was she, and she was the Green Lady too, huh?
Green Slave Girl. Well, not the very first Green. They had a later Green Girl that she played. So in the trailer, there was with Jeffrey Hunter, who played Christopher Pike. So yours is the one on the left, correct? Or
No,
is yours on the right? I would say, to me,
the
it
right,
looks
yeah.
like
Well, the original's on the left, and at least
okay,
that's the way I'm seeing it.
okay,
The one that says Dan Lawless studying for Zeta, that would be the one.
okay. There you go. All right, yeah.
So somebody comment, I kind of put my monster on steroids, you know, and so I redid the monster. But the one thing I always loved this Frazetta piece. Of course, it's fantastic, incredible.
Right.
So I was just curious what it looked like because one thing I never loved was the black background. I didn't understand it. Was it nighttime or something? And where's that light source? Just didn't make sense to me. So I
Right.
thought, what if I made it, you know, a lighter background? Would it still work? Well, it's okay. I mean, you know, it's up to your opinion. What you think? How I think it worked out, but I sure had fun doing it. And so I just call them studies. It's what they are. You copy someone else's work. I put it side by side, and I just drew it and painted it, and you learn.
I
when
will
you do
say
that,
this: you did beef him up for sure, you know. But you see the musculature there, and you did to kind of turn the head to where he's kind of engaging the audience a little bit more, and the arm is more dramatic, I think. You know, with the bend in
Yep,
it.
a little bit more on that. Yeah,
Mhm.
and the monsters. I wanted the monster kind of be more engaging too, like he was really looking at you. So I mean,
Yeah.
I can move in on this guy so we can see
Now,
what he looks like
okay.
better.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you can kind of see on the fin work on his back because you've got that pretty dark. Wow, man, look at that red magenta over his upper lip. Wow.
Well, that's in the original. See, I was looking
Oh
at the
yeah,
original,
he's kind of
and I
He's kind of like a salamander type thing, isn't
yep,
he? Or
yeah,
snakehead. Yeah.
iguana monster or something.
The thing about
Gila
Frazetta's work
monster.
is the modeling on it. Do you think he was thinking of like painters like Goya? Goya did a lot of dark backgrounds. Spanish
I don't know.
painter
Yeah,
Goya.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's my guy, and then I mean, I
Pretty
did. This is
true.
this is still a an hour and a half painting. So I it's not
Now
gonna
on
be
the
it's
sail
not gonna
there,
be as
you've
detailed.
actually got the brushwork texture on there. I guess that's
Yeah, I tried to do a quick representation of this, but
mhm.
that's the thing
You,
about
you know,
oils
the
is
water
they
is
are
so
just nice. And
dramatic, especially in the
yeah,
foreground. The water is
that's
so
where
dramatic.
I was having trouble trying to match that because it was just it's just a big chunk of water. Now the
Oh,
interesting
I
thing is
think you
you look at
matched it up
Frazetta.
pretty good.
Frazetta's like this water and stuff. He has
Hmm.
influences too. So there was like an NC Wyeth post thing out there that I wonder if I could find that in my
Oh, I bet you NC was a big influence on him
yeah.
back in the day. I just bet you, big time. Colors are
I don't know if
spectacular.
I don't know if
Shadowhawk
I because
says.
I remember I
I know,
grabbed it
right?
once, but I don't see it popping up here.
High praise indeed. He says, I actually like yours better, Dan. There's certain aspects of it I do too. You know,
Yeah.
of course, you had something to go by a little
Exactly. That's
bit.
the thing is it's not a fair
Yeah.
thing because it's like wait a minute I'm standing on this guy's shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you know
Yeah, I
Jerry
can't find
Mathers was did you know that Jerry Mathers was in
the beaver.
the air guard? Yeah. Isn't that wild? Um yeah, the Beaver.
Wait,
He
bring that up again. That Jerry
okay.
Mathers.
U.S. Air Force. He served from 66 to 69. He served in the Air Force National Guard. He was mistakenly reported killed in action during the Vietnam War, but all his duties were stateside,
Oh,
so he never left the states. I met a man,
Right.
I think last year, Dan. He was 101 years old, and he was in World War II, but he never left stateside. He was such a good marksman. He trained people to shoot in California before they went off either to the
It
Pacific
sounds
or
like
the
that's
European.
the gig you want.
That's the gig you want, where you stay home and safe, but you still
Let me
active
show you
part
how
of
it's
the war.
done.
Yeah,
You go do it now.
yeah. I don't want to get
Yeah,
shot.
I think I told you my dad was in World War II. I think I
Yeah,
mentioned you. My
yeah.
dad was in World War II. So Saipan, Guam,
Yeah.
and Okinawa. Yeah.
So your dad was like my dad, older. I
Well,
mean,
he
he
was
might have been a
17 when
young. Yeah, he was
17
probably
when he was in
pretty
the war.
young. Yeah,
Yeah.
because my dad
So
wasn't
I
old
think he
enough
I
to
think he lied about
be
his
in
age
World
to get
War
in the
II.
war.
Your dad's older than mine, so he had you late in life, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's 8 of us, and I fall in 7, number 7 on the 8. So that was on the tail
Wow.
end of it.
You got one. You got one younger. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I'd love to see your family reunions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're pretty.
Have you had
pretty
any
crazy, yeah.
siblings pass away, Dan?
No.
No. Well, that's good.
No.
That's
My
good.
oldest would be 10 years older than me. So so it's not too old still, but no. Knock on wood, everyone's pretty healthy. So
Did
it's really good.
Did you ever get picked on?
Yeah, a little bit, but I kind of
There was a
just
pecking order?
fought back a little bit, and they bug you for a bit,
Yeah.
and then you kind of But I was I started to play football and stuff, and they weren't going to pick on me after that. When I started to flesh out a little bit.
Have you seen this Mike Hoffman piece? I've never seen this one.
Ooh, is this new? I have not seen that piece before.
Yeah, that's Mike Hoffman.
And I like his stuff. I mean, he's he's obviously doing a Rosetta, but it's funny because everybody does. I actually recommend to artists is if you like an artist, copy the artist, and don't worry if you become kind of a clone because you'll make your own original statement in that.
We've seen that with.
But when you're
We've seen that with Barry Windsor Smith. He was started out kind of Kirby-ish. Of course, they told him back then, dude, like Kirby. We've seen that with Bill Sienkiewicz. He was kind of like Mike Masser was doing. He was kind of like doing a Neil Adams thing, So you kind of come out of that and you develop your own style, don't you? After a while, yeah,
right. Well, when you're doing something like that, you're learning how to draw. You're just that's really the main thing is learning how to draw. So pick
Can
somebody
I ape
good.
you then? Could I ape you?
Yeah.
So you got a painterly style. You
Are
would
you
be
sure?
You would be hard to ape, I would think. You
Well,
remember
I'm just
this
a traditional
commercial?
artist, so yeah.
You remember
kinda
that
do.
commercial?
What was this? What was it for?
It was like parquet or something like that. Butter.
Oh, okay. I remember the parquet commercials. Yeah.
Yeah, Mickey Mantle and yeah.
That was Mickey Mantle?
I had totally forgot about that. Blue Bonnet, I think it was. Blue Bonnet margarine. Mickey Mantle and Willie Mays commercial. So hilarious. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of great pieces that they put out. Look at this one. Eat this, you lizard.
That. Who is that? I'm thinking.
Think
I
the
knew
artist.
who this artist was. It's not. Is that a Ken Kelly or?
Let me see. That's Alex Horley.
Horsley, yeah, Horsley or something like that. Yeah, he's really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got some of that painterly modeling in the background. What kind of sky is like
kind of
that? It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's sort of adventure fantasy, right?
Right. And also, Frazetta would say he's bordering on the abstract. I mean, that's like you're doing abstract art at a certain point. And
now
I think
here's
great,
Kelly. There's Kelly.
Right.
I like that.
Kelly was
I
not
sent
my
that
favorite
one to you.
though. I mean, Kelly was
Well,
kind of a hit
no,
or miss
but
for me.
I thought maybe that's one you might want to. I mean, it looks like he's got a head in his hand, decapitation. But I just like a raw, pose of the character. I
Yes,
like
yeah.
the pose, sort of the victorious, I am the baddest in the room pose. I thought you would probably
Yeah.
like that too.
Yeah.
He
Well,
did put a
you
Rosetta
know
type.
my Conan. I think
Mhm.
I don't be egotistical, but I
Okay,
think
here goes, folks.
one Conan I've created was about as savage as you could make Conan looking. And if I can find it here.
Now here's the black and white version of Dan's piece he did recently. And then I guess it's almost like he's levitating or something. He's off the rocks there. He's posed, but he's got the rocks underneath him.
It's whatever kind of thing. I thought about it. If I had thought about it at the time, I would have put his jetpack on. Then he would be looking like he's just flying,
Yeah.
But
Really,
I didn't think about it at the
he was kind of like the model. Him and Flash Gordon were kind of like the model in the early days for Adam Strange, who had a jetpack and had the fin on the hat,
Yep.
and everything.
Right, this is my Conan. This is always Conan to me. Just total savage, just built like a tank, and just, dirty, bloody, somebody that looked like, those axes, those would be like tough to lift, but for him they're like toothpicks.
Very heavy. Yeah. I think in his backstory, he worked in like as a blacksmith, right? And you got to have
his father was the son of a blacksmith, so he probably worked as a blacksmith too. But his father was a blacksmith. That's where he inherited that massive physique.
Well, like in the movie, I was, actually it was, the anniversary of Conan coming out at the movies just the other day. I think yesterday, Dan. And that was the first movie I saw at a drive-in movie. I actually lied about my age. I said I'm 18, and you had to be 18 because it was a rated R movie. And I was.
What was the movie? What was the movie?
Conan.
Oh,
Conan the Barbarian with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the original Conan movie.
Oh yeah.
Yep. I wanted to see it, so bad. It's like I lied about my age to get in.
Yeah, they didn't really check back then. Like I remember going to see Excalibur, and it was kind of the same thing. I don't know if I was underage or not, but I had never seen anything like that before, and I was like, holy smoke, this is really explicit. So the funny thing is, it's funny. I remember watching TV and seeing an advertisement for Excalibur coming out, and I knew the Conan movie was coming, and I thought that was the advertisement for the Conan movie, and I was like, whoa, that looks really, really wild. And then at the end it said Excalibur. I'm like, oh, it's not Conan, I still like Excalibur a lot. And
do you like Brahm?
Yeah, Brahm's good. Yeah, Brahm's good.
Yeah.
It's weird sometimes, but it's really neat still. He's quite an impressive
Well, I mean,
artist,
the
for
way
sure.
Frazetta first did him was kind of like this Brahm piece, kind of a squat head. He was that savage, right? From the very beginning.
Yeah.
I think on an intelligence scale, I would have to put Conan at about a 7 or 8, probably about an 8. He does have that feral, what we call Wolverine type, berserker mode, but he's got to be fairly strategic, right? Or he would have been
very
killed
much
off.
so.
Yeah.
And
he's
a quick study.
Yeah,
he's a quick study. He knows many languages, so he's really pretty worldly and so I don't like when
women
portray him as
he's worldly, all right.
He's good with the ladies.
He's been around the pub.
Well, that's actually the interesting thing is that the theme of the Robert E. Howard movie, the themes of it was often he'd be this rough, tough, badass guy,
Yeah.
And the girl would be actually afraid of him at first, but then as it turns out, and he often says in these stories that Conan was at least savage than the civilized guys. He treated the girls better than these folks, these sophisticated people of great lineage and stuff. It's like, so the royalty was that we're awful human beings, and Conan actually, when he became a king, was a pretty fair king, and he was well loved by his subject, didn't overtax him and stuff like that. So,
did you see Russ Leach and Randy Zimmerman are doing Cole, which is kind of like I think Conan is an ancestor to Cole, or no, actually,
yeah,
Cole
I think
came
Cole
before.
was first. I think Cole was before Conan.
Yeah, he was
when
at
it was Atlantis or something.
Yeah,
right.
I
So,
think him.
yeah,
and
Randy
Solomon
Zimmerman
Kane,
is a. Yeah, I've known
I
Randy
think
Zimmerman
Solomon
for
Kane.
a
They're
long
all
time.
related.
Yeah, Randy is in the Michigan area too, and so back when I was just starting out my career, we're talking back in the 80.
Oh, we got to talking, and I first met him in 1985 and 86 when I went to Chicago.
Okay, so that's me too. Yeah, I met him back that far. Yeah. So
I had
been doing
totally
comics for a
forgotten
long
about
time.
it though. I was like 19, 20 years old or 21, very young, and it was like, who's this guy? With that accent that he has. That's when I met like Mike Barron and Steve Rude and Mike Zack and Frank Miller and all those guys.
Right.
Sienkiewicz, they were all up there. It was, we look
Now
at
you say an accent. You say an accent with Randy. So you consider him having an accent like a?
Well, I
is it
mean,
kind
he's
of
a Yankee. He's definitely a northern guy. With that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I mean by that. Don't get me in
Yeah, 'cause
trouble. Dad.
everyone thinks that they don't have the accent. They think everyone else has the accent.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, wow, white trailer trash. I don't know. It's like,
well, depending
people
on
ask me,
where you
"Where
are here,
from?"
if you get into the country, even here, people have more accents, more southern accents. So it's not, it's kind of not universal.
Did I send you this piece? This piece knocked me away from Brahm.
Hey, hang on a second. I might have to. Wait a second. That somebody mentioned someone's going to pick up the dog here. I don't know if they're here or not, or yet,
Okay.
or what, but I just saw someone walk past my window, and I was like, "Wait a minute, hang on one second. Let me check the car.
Okay.
If there's a car here."
Home intrusion. There you go. Look at that logo. That icon, rather. Yeah. He always gives him these red whiskey nose.
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Okay.
It kind of
That's
it
just
looked like my wife walking past the window, but
Home invasion, Dan.
I thought she was going to exercise.
Did you see this piece?
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Who's
pretty
that?
wild, isn't it? It's got some power to it.
Yeah.
No prisoners. That one guy falling to his death. I don't know. It's almost like he's on fire with the lighting there. I don't know what's going on there with the lighting.
It's a cool sunset. Well, it's a nice graphic. You got that black shape going across there and making a nice graphic design out of it.
Nice. Yeah, I guess these guys are like undead skeletal type guys, so you don't feel too bad for them as they kind of get ran down. Kind of different, almost like Muslim empire type sword he's got there. Not your straight Conan sword. The little bit of curve to it. Yeah.
Skimleter or something like that. I don't know what you call those things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know. It's just my wife brought the dog back. They went for a walk. He got 2 walks in. She didn't know I had already walked him. He's happy.
Here's a Lego piece. I don't know if you're familiar with him or not.
I think I've seen that. I mean, I feel like I've seen almost every Conan piece there is because I have that Conan Facebook page,
I see a piece like this. It's like, does Conan have much of a neck? It's just like the head
Well,
is sitting on
he's
the
hunching
shoulders.
down. I mean, I think
He's hunching. Yeah, I got it.
he's gonna he's
But
got a
that's the
boatload of
way
muscles on him.
Frank Vazetta first did him on that first. He's like, all you could see the scars on him, the battles
Yeah, I
that
know.
he'd been in, his
Yeah,
whole body was a roadmap to where he had been. There was so much
exactly.
characterization in that first prototype kind of Conan, that Frazetta did.
Yeah,
Do you know how many
pure
times
adventure.
that Frazetta kind of did Conan? Did he do him a lot?
Not really, but I think I think he had enough to cover those novels. There was like
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
novels or something.
I think
So
my the piece where he's jumping on the back of the gorilla with the red cloak?
yeah, that's the Rogues of the House. Yeah,
Love that. Love
that
that
story.
piece,
Oh, that's a great. Oh my gosh, I have to. Oh, hang on, wait a second. Do I have?
Uh-oh. Inspiration.
I'm trying to think if I have it. I have a painting. I recreated talk about recreating Frazetta. This is the first time. We're talking high school, 1982 or something. I recreated a Frazetta with acrylic paint, and it's terrible.
I did
If I can find it in 2
futuristic
seconds,
Conan.
give me like 2 seconds. I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
I may not, but that'll be next time if I can't find it. Okay, hang on.
Kerry, you'll have to go back. He showed the doggy when he first came on. You'll have to go back, and it looks a lot like Shadowhawk's dog, actually, Daisy. Let's see. Oh yeah, here's a Horley piece right here. A lot of people posting Conan today, so didn't know that Dan was going to come on when I reposted a lot of this stuff. So kind of glad we can kind of look at some Conan since Dan's on.
Okay, I got it. I think I got it.
Well, be safe, Shadowhawk. Got storms rolling in. I understand. This is another Horley piece, Dan.
Oh yeah,
A lot of
Alex
people.
Horley. I love. There's another one too with him. I believe it's like he's kind of a green theme, and he's reaching out on the ground for a sword. If that's the one I'm thinking, if that's the artist I'm thinking, man, I love that piece.
Well, I mean, if you look at this, he's got, especially in the foreground, he's got a lot of green,
Yeah.
with the characters that are being killed, which I think is pretty cool,
Okay.
actually.
Are you ready? Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay.
It's
on canvas.
oh yeah, I was going to say that almost looks like linen or something. Oh wow.
At the pole pretty far back. Let me get.
Yeah, that's big.
I got this blur thing. Hang on, I got a blur thing here that I got to take off. Okay, now it's crystal clear. Okay. There it is. Pretty big piece too.
Now, did you flop the piece?
You're looking at.
I
I
can't-
flopped my video. I flopped my video. So, yeah. So that's this. It will be correct. It's just that you're looking at a reverse image of my video. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I kind of remembered it as flopped from this, but man, yeah, this is so dramatic. I remember seeing this piece and buying the novel, that had the cover.
Look at that face, though. It's not exactly. This is obviously a beginner artist.
Yeah. Oh, is this an older piece that you did years ago?
This is so old. This is. I tell you, this was high school.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you did a good job
It
with
was like
it,
one of my first paintings I ever did.
Is that oil paint? Is that acrylic? What is that?
It's acrylic.
Okay.
On
Canvas?
canvas, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's big. I mean, this is like.
You hadn't even taken the staples out of it, Dan.
Yeah, those
got
are just the
staples.
holes of the staples. They.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Where the paint didn't. Okay, it looked like the metal staples.
I put it on the I put I stretched the canvas over the frame.
Dan Lawless does better at most artwork in high school than people do in a whole career, confirmed. I like how you kind of blocked in the musculature, on the arms and stuff.
Yeah, where can I put this thing? It's giant here.
Happy birthday to Nicholas Hamilton today. He's 74 years old, Dan.
Who?
Spider-Man.
74?
74
that
years
guy.
old.
Okay, that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember him.
From
I remember him.
the late 70s.
Yeah.
He even had a TV show there for a while, or made for TV movies. I was thinking it was a TV show as well. I don't know. I know he did a couple movies. He was the guy that shot out ropes and not webbing. They were actually ropes.
They sucked, dude. Yeah, they're awful.
They were big, thick ropes, man. It's like,
at least it was better than Reb Brown as Captain America with his helmet with the little flags on it.
The little wings. Yeah,
so bad.
And the motorcycle and he could put the shield in front. And
actually, I kind of like that. That was cool.
Yeah. And
all right, I'm gonna get rolling, Rex. I'm gonna get rolling. But it's good to see you. These people are gonna play with the dog pretty soon here, so I know that they're coming in.
All right, well, put your fist up
real
here.
soon.
Give me fist bump. Wonder Twin powers activate. Form of an icicle. Thanks for coming on, Dan. Appreciate it.
It's good to see you. You got to come on my channel too.
Oh, please, just let me know.
Yeah, because I created a room and you're in it, so if I go out, I'm go live. Just check for that. So.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway. I know I'm getting back to work on my night job. In fact, they're telling me I'm gonna, probably work 3 hours during the day and then spray at night. So mosquitoes are going to be getting pretty bad here. So, I'll be working
is that seasonal
day and
that
night.
You would have that night shift? Is it seasonal that you would have the night shift?
It's seasonal. Yeah. If I was down like Texas or Florida, it's year round, but here it's seasonal. Okay. Yeah. All the rest of the time I work on comic work. So I'm kind of semi-professional. Anyway, bro, thanks a lot. I'm glad we got to talk some art and stuff.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, definitely do that again. Thank you to the chat people and checking in here. Thank you for the compliments.
When's your project coming out?
Oh, can we see the dog? Carrie wants to see it. Hey.
Okay.
I got to get this paint out of it.
And come picked up the dog yet, huh? Never comes when you need him.
There you go. He comes in.
There you go. Looks a lot like Daisy. Yeah. And you say it's like a golden retriever? What exactly?
White golden, they call them, because they're
white
golden retrievers, but they're just
a
very white version of that. So,
Dan didn't mean anything by that, by the way.
He's got a big permanent grin.
He always looks happy. Yeah.
He's happy.
Oh,
of course, we spoil the heck out of him when he's here. It's just we just have him for a week, and it's kind of like grandchildren. You just like spoil them, and so when the owner gets the dog back, like the dog's like totally depressed because like I'm playing with him, I'm throwing the ball and I'm giving treats and tug of war and all that stuff, and he goes back to his house is like nobody cares, like so he's all bummed out.
Yeah, I get that. I could very well see that. I think a larger dog like that, like a retriever, needs a lot of attention. Really, they're a really nice family dog to have. But it's nice. Like you say, it's like grandchildren. You can love on them while they're there, but they don't have to stay that long. You can always get rid of them, because
I know.
Yeah, kids are nice to have around, but it's nice to be able to send them home when you're done with them too, right, Dad?
Exactly.
Well, take care, bro.
Right, hey,
I hope to see
a
project crowdfunded by you here pretty soon. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
Good to see Shadowhawk. Good to step to check in with him too. So.
Yeah, he's had some storms coming through. I was on with John Longbox Sunday, and for the first 40 minutes, he had to do the interview because as soon as he asked me a question about my Captain America shield back here, and I answered him, my internet went out. for 40 minutes.
Mm.
I'm like, I got to get back on.
Yeah, John's a great guy. We just, it's like you and I we get two comic guys together. It's just talk nonstop comic talk.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
And he's doing great for his first campaign over there on Fund My Comic. He's doing great. He's getting ready to hit $4,000, I think. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, he got on.
It hadn't been up
he
that
was
long.
on Mandy's show last night. I think it was on Mandy's show last night. And Shane. So and Dale killed too. So
that's the great thing about having a channel where you promote other projects and stuff like that is you can make those connections and get on those shows and when it comes time for your project to be promoted, it really helps out,
Mandy and Shannon and Mandy, Shane and Dale have the Pimp My Comic one. I think it's on Wednesdays. Then you try to get on that.
Oh, okay.
Do you
Oh,
want
yeah.
to get on that? Because
Okay.
I could send something to these guys, ask them about you. So.
Oh, good. Yeah, because
they'd love to have you.
Still looking for shows to go on. For sure.
Yeah, they'd love
that
to
I
have
haven't
you,
been
so
on.
I'll look into that and see if I can help it all. I don't know if I have
anything you can do, I would appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
Well,
okay.
Thank your
We'll see
wife
you, man.
when she gets home for your
she's
most
here.
valuable time.
Yeah.
Go get you some dinner. Relax.
Yeah, that's on the
pet the
agenda
dog
too.
while you can. Smoke your pipe. Put your
gonna
slippers
miss
on.
him.
Like back in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm bringing my slippers to me. Yeah. He is a retriever, right?
go.
Where's this retrieving I heard about?
Yeah. Where's this retrieving?
Go
I've
get
heard
me a
about?
drink and the slippers.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later. I see ya.